What's going on, everybody? This is Nick with Dubia.com, and today we're about to have a lot of fun. We're unboxing and assembling this 120-gallon, 2-foot by 2-foot by 4-foot arboreal reptile habitat. But here's the best part. This step-by-step process applies to a range of our habitat sizes. This includes the 64-gallon habitat, the 24 inches by 18 inches by 36 inches, the 60-gallon habitat, the 24 inches by 24 inches by 24 inches, and the 33-gallon habitat, the 18 inches by 18 inches by 24 inches. Now, each model follows the exact same construction steps, so you can confidently assemble any of these habitats using this guide. Now, let's get started. Jumping into step number 1. First things first, let's unbox everything. Carefully take out each piece and lay it out onto a clean, flat surface. It helps to have everything organized and ready. You also won't be scrambling for parts later. Plus, it's a great way to double check that you have all your pieces here before we do start building. Now, you will need something to cut with. A razor blade or box cutter works great. First, you want to remove the 2 yellow straps, then moving on to cutting the tape in the front and the back of the box. Next, you will want to cut through the plastic safety bumpers installed for secured shipping. To do so is very simple. You will cut in between the middle of the upper and lower bumper where they overlap around all 4 corners. Once everything is cut, you'll be able to peel the box open easily, just like this, revealing everything that's inside. Great, everything is now out on the table. Let's take a moment and familiarize ourselves with everything we have to build with. We have a rubber mallet. We have 2 cable ports that will be installed on the side panels for cable management. We have a baggie of hardware, which will include the handle and lock for the door. We have our 2 jointed bars for the front of the habitat, 2 rear bars for the back of the habitat, our logo bar that will go up front, our base panel here in the middle, along with our substrate panel that will fit in the base, just like that. We also have our 1 glass door, our 2 side panels, 1 rear panel, and last but not least, our screen top. All right, up next, let's get all of the protective coverings off. We want to start with our base panel along with our substrate bar. Then you can move on to the glass door along with the 2 side panels and rear panel. Now, this is an important step. You don't want any of the film blocking your view or interfering with the assembly. Plus, it makes everything look clean and shiny right from the start. Now, this can take a couple of minutes. Let me save you some time. Toby. Now we're getting to the fun part, putting together our first frame. We want to take our logo bar along with the 2 jointed bars, and we want to align them carefully. Now, you can see that the jointed bar has a short section and a long section. The short section is for the bottom of the habitat with the long pointing up towards the top. Now, with the logo bar placed on a flat, solid surface, orientate the jointed bar just like so. A few baby taps to start. Now we can drive it all the way down until it's nice and flush in the joint. Just like that. And we'll do the same for the other side. Down. Rotate it correctly. Baby taps to start. And just like that, our first frame is now complete. Great, moving on to step 4. Laying the base out flat, we want to align the substrate panel to the front of the habitat, just like so. Great. With the substrate panel secure in the track, we will now take our first frame and bring it down on top of the substrate panel. Making sure to align the tracks to the substrate panel as it comes all the way down to the base panel. Once the bottom is secure and set in the pegs, we will use our rubber mallet and tap, alternating from side to side, bringing the first frame all the way down flush to the base panel. Start on this side. out. More. Just about. Perfect on that side. Perfect, we are now flush with the front frame. Great, moving along right into step 5. We're now going to install the bars to the rear of the habitat. These bars complete the support to the frame, making it durable and solid. Once corners are oriented correctly, hammer down gently, ensuring that they sit flush in the joint. Grab this one, sit it down on the peg. Perfect, baby taps to start. All the way flush to the base. Now, same for the second one. Perfect. Baby taps to start. And just like that, step 5 is complete, the rear bar's installed. We're really starting to build up some structure with this. Next, we're gonna install the side and rear panels into their slots. Now, the side panels will have the pre-cut holes here for cable management. You can orientate these holes however you wish. My personal preference is to the top and rear of the habitat. You wanna make sure that each one fits snugly and lines up with the frame at the bottom. So, let's put in the side panel, find its grooves, there we go. Slide it straight down. Make sure it lines up in the base panel. Perfect. Move on to this side panel right here. Orientate the holes to the rear and top. All the way down. Go. Flush in the base. Now the rear panel. Perfect. Side panels and rear panel installed. Let's move on. Moving on to the next step. We're going to install the cable ports on the side panels. Now, this may not seem like an exciting step, but they're super handy to keeping your setup clean and organized. There are a few things that I want to show you before installing them, so let's take a look. Before we continue this build, I wanted to take a moment and show you these two pieces I have right here. These are your cable ports. These two ports will be installed on both side panels, allowing you to run cables and access the power for inside of the enclosure. We're gonna take this and we're gonna turn it to the right to open it. You will see all of the holes exposed, and you can pull this out just like that. We're gonna take our power cord, insert it through, seat it into one of the grooves at the bottom, put it in the middle, I like the middle, just like that. We'll place this on top with it seated and turn to lock it into place, just like that, no problem. Now, be mindful, if you do have this open all the way to the right, it does have the ability to pop off really easy. So sometimes you just need to make sure that you do close it after using it, because you don't want for any of your pets to escape. Make sure it's secure. So we have a few things here I want to take a look at. This is our lock and handle that will be installed to the glass door. Now we have our lock, 2 rubber gaskets, 4 nuts, 4 bolts, 1 Allen key, and 1 tool to help you change the combination to the lock. So it's very easy installation. You'll line the rubber gasket up to the 4 holes on the back of the lock like so. in between both rubber gaskets will be the glass. Then, with the gaskets lined up correctly, you'll take your 4 bolts, insert them all the way through, like so, and secure with the nuts on the back, similar to so. Take these off. Great. Now, the lock does come with the default combination of 0, 0, 0. You can see it opens freely, no problem. To change it, we'll find the indicated hole at the bottom of the dial. With our little tool, we'll push this in and rotate to whatever number you wish. We're going to do 007, only because I like James Bond. Now, we can see that this opens freely, no problem. We move the number, it is now locked. So, put it back to 007, no problem, just like that. Easy installation. We're going to take our threaded side, insert it from the outside of the habitat, take your O-ring to the inside of the habitat, and twist to tighten and secure. Make sure it's nice and snug and locked down. Do the same thing for the other one. Threaded side on the outside of the habitat, nice and flush. The O-ring on the inside, twist to tighten and secure, and make sure they're nice and snug. Perfect. Cable management's installed. Let's move on to the next step. Now we're going to secure our screen top. So the screen top, we want to make sure that it's oriented correctly. It will have a sticker indicating that it is for the front of the habitat. So we will find all 4 holes for the pegs all around. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Great. With our rubber mallet, we want to start hitting each corner, going in a circular motion, bringing the screen top all the way down, nice and flush to all 4 joints. We're going to start up here. Baby taps to start. Moving all the way around the top. Bringing all 4 corners nice and flush to the joint. Just like that. Now our screen top is secure. It is now time to install our handle and lock mechanism onto the glass door. We have a few things up here. We have 4 nuts, 4 bolts, 2 rubber gaskets, the lock and handle mechanism itself, and an Allen key. We're going to take the lock and handle, flip it upside down, go ahead and line up the holes with one of the rubber gaskets, flip it back over. We're going to take our bolts here and drop them into their holes, making sure they get all the way through the rubber gasket. That's 2. Number 3. And 4. All the bolts in, we'll go ahead and bring it down to the glass and drop it through the holes. Bring it down nice and flush. You can even push down to make sure it sits nice and flat. Grab the second rubber gasket, come underneath, and find the bolts and the holes. 1, 2, 3, and 4. The threads of the bolts will actually hold the rubber gasket in place for you. Now, we're going to take our nut and our Allen key here. We're going to start installing and tightening down the handle and lock. There's 1. There's 2. Now we're just making it snug for now. We'll tighten it down once all 4 bolts and nuts are secure. Three. Last but not least, 4. Now that it's nice and snug, we can go ahead and go all the way around each 4 bolt and tighten them down with one last turn. Perfect. Lock and handle installed. It's finally time to get this piece of glass into the front of the habitat. To do so, we have 2 pins that we'll be using. We have one long metal pin that has a flat top, along with a shorter pin that has a short section and a long section. Now, I want this piece of glass to open up from this side of the habitat. So we're going to install the hardware to the opposite side. So with the short section pointed down, we will drop it into the hole that is on top of the logo bar. Taking our glass, placing it on top of the longer section of the peg. There we go. And placing it up against the habitat. We can then use the lock to our advantage, lock it so it doesn't go anywhere, taking the long pin and our rubber mallet, dropping it down through the hole, and finding its home. You may need to wiggle it around a little bit. There we go. Tap it till it's nice and flush. Just like that, our door is installed. And that's it. Our reptile habitat is fully set up and ready to go. You now have the perfect environment for your favorite reptile buddy to feel right at home. I hope you had as much fun on this build as I did. Now, if you have any comments, questions, or concerns about this build, make sure to reach out to our customer service team over at dubia.com. While you're there, don't forget to get some of your reptile's favorite snacks, those Dubia roaches. This is Nick, until our next build.